up here. I'm just gonna keep wiping this out. Now I am gonna stop here because I have to go a different direction. So the one thing that I'm doing right now is just editing these boards where the bear is. Okay. And I know that the boards are going a different way right now, and we'll fix all of this so it doesn't look repetitive, but it's just so you kind of get the idea of how I did it in the other photo. All right, so with the line right here above her head, we want to clone this to where the lines match. So I selected over here because we're gonna match this diagonal line with this diagonal line. Actually, I may grab right here because it's closer in color and size. So let me do that real quick. Okay, I'm leaving my cursor where I cloned from. I'm gonna come over here, gonna line that line right up, and then I'm going to just clone over her. And then I can just do that board. And it's really simple that way, because then you're not worrying about the board that's going across the bottom so much, because it should pretty much line up for the most part. Okay, so this part is where it gets tricky, because now we look like we got a door with the doll that's like sticking out from underneath it. I want to take actually, I'm going to zoom out a little. I'm going to grab over here on the door because of this gap right here. Okay, so here's where I grabbed from. Come right over here. I'm just gonna make it match. Now, I will tell you, the one thing I don't want is these repetitive knots in the door, because that's not normal. So you'll wanna make sure that you don't have that repetitive knot. All right, I'm gonna grab from here and clone this out again. And the only reason I'm doing that is so that it continues to match all the way through. Okay. I'm gonna just keep cloning out this door for a second. And then we're gonna clone out right here. This, we're gonna take this over so that it looks like it's meeting, so. All right, so I grabbed right here in the door. And I'm just gonna go here, because these doors, it looks like the boards went like this. Now I may be wrong because I wasn't there to see what the boards actually look like, but we're gonna crop so it's not gonna be that noticeable anyway. Let me fix the bottom of this door right here and across the bottom to make it more crisp. And there we have it. So now it doesn't even look like there was a teddy bear and a little girl there. So we're gonna turn this layer on. We're gonna grab our tool. So we turned this layer back on. We're going to grab this tool here. We're gonna grab the little girl and the bear, and we're gonna drag them where we want them. On this one, I think I went to about right here. Now what you want to look for are those lines. If because those lines are what's going to make it snap in place. And we might need to clone the door just a little bit to make those lines match up a little. I didn't have this issue in the last one for some reason. Probably because I may have cloned it a little bit higher, but we can work with that. That's not a problem. All right, so we're gonna go right here. We're going to create a layer mask by selecting where it says add layer mask right here. That creates a white layer. We want it to stay white because we want to be able to see what we're erasing. So I'm gonna go over and grab my paintbrush. I want to make sure that my paint color that I'm using is black because we want to paint black on white. That's what's going to allow it to erase. I'm going to make this go down. I'm just going to go in here. Make sure your opacity is at 100% because my opacity was not. And we go in and then we just erase. Now mind you, I went over a little far with him, so I'm going to grab him and move him over. See, I moved him to where you could see that shadow on the door. I want to go around that shadow because you want that shadow there. You want it to look normal and natural. So I just went in and I erased basically the floor around her and in between him. So you have to get in really close. I'm doing this kind of sloppy because I've already done this edit like 3 times because of the video. Okay. So we'll fix her feet so you can kind of see. I fixed it by clicking X to get white. Okay. And we're gonna go back to your black brush. We're going to go right here so his knee is clean and crisp. I'm going to go all the way around. You can kind of see. We want to leave that shadow though because we want to have that shadow there. We want it to be natural. And we're going to go in. I'm going to zoom in. And slide this over so you can kind of see what we're doing. While I have this open, I will go ahead and fix the floor in the other photo and around her hair where I didn't erase all the way, just so that, now I didn't go all the way here because I want that shadow that's created. Again, I'm doing this quickly, so you want to take your time making sure that this is all erased properly so you can get all the proper lines and stuff that's supposed to be in here, the boards that are supposed to be in here. You just want to go around the outline of them. You don't want it to look like they've been copy and pasted in here. You want it to look like they were originally sitting there. So what I did, I just went on ahead and did white, and I'm just going to go right back around the brim of her hat. Okay, kind of see I'm painting her back in. Okay, and if the shadow is around her, that's okay because, I mean, she's a doll against a wall, so it's okay to have a little bit of that shadow there. I'm going to go right along the edge of her face and her hair because we want the vibrance of it. We don't want it to look like it's been cloned out. Go right around the side of her body. Okay, now down here, see this right here? I made it black. I'm going to go in really close because this is the floor that was behind her, that was around her before. So if you erase it here, you don't have to go back and clone that wood board out and make it match. So if you do it all now, it's going to save you a lot of time in the process. Now, one thing that I noticed, because I have zoomed in here, is this floor. We don't want this. So this is the time that you take and edit this stuff. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just go back to my layer